Good morning everyone, welcome back to Hearthstone. My name is Rooster and today we're playing a deck you may very well already be acquainted with, which is Zoo Warlock. And as you may well be aware, Zoo Warlock is one of the decks that is most often recommended to new players of the game, because it teaches very basic game principles like trading your minions, favoring board control over face damage, and it's overall not a very expensive deck to make either. Pretty good deck overall. Has been seeing quite a lot of play lately. Do we even keep anything here? I don't think I want any of these cards. Forbidden Ritual is a curve filler, but I guess against Rogue it's not very spectacular. With the release of Whispers of the Old Gods, this deck has seen very significant changes. Mostly because, a lot of the minions from the old Zoo decks came from the Naxxrama's expansion, which is now, of course, no longer available. Do we just flood here, or do I tap? Tapping seems really weak. But flooding after Councilman might be better. I have basically zero pressure right now, though. But the Sergeant will be more effective later. I think it's okay. Not quite sure what the right call is here. And there's definitely some discussion. Zoo is not as linear as some people may have you believe. A curious thing, by the way, is not only the disappearance. Well, that's not actually that curious. The disappearance of the deathrattle minions from Zoo decks. I'm not sure what to expect right now. Reno sounds like something that needs to die sooner rather than later. But I am unable to do so right now. How about this Councilman then? Seems like the strongest play right now, although we could play a Bran of our own and then get our board killed by the Rogue, and what do we do then? No, we just flood again, because that's what Warlocks do. That's probably okay, then we can Councilman in something else. So let's give Bran a try, because if it's unanswered, that's actually really strong. So it does force the Rogue kind of back on the defensive again. Oh, Cthulhu Rogue, okay. Well, I sure as hell didn't see that coming. But I guess it kind of makes sense, in a way. So that's fine, that's fine. Little dismayed at the loss of Bran right there, and well, the Rogue does seem to get away with it for now. So I guess we're just going this way. And see what happens, of course. See if the Councilman survives then, because that might even be more impactful than Bran, even though... Well, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, of course. Then the Councilman might have just... maybe not, maybe not. At least we can kill the Bran now, so that's good. Even make a nice little trade here. We may actually want to... Oh, that's actually rather good. That is actually rather good. Okay, let's do it this way then. Wait, I don't really need that, right? Yes, I do. Okay. Counting can be hard sometimes. Don't judge me, guys. So we're going about it this way. So Bran is dead, and we have the board, and that's what Zoo does best. Zoo makes a lot of tiny little minions and then buffs them up and trades them against your opponent's bigger minions. So that makes for some sweet board control, which eventually translates into... I didn't expect that card. Translates into face damage. but which is definitely not the primary focus of this deck. I think we're tapping, because we're starting to run low on stuff in general. And this deck does needs its share of stuff. Can we flood enough that we can play this card? I don't think so. So we'll have to leave that until next turn. Just buff up one guy. That is probably preferable, yes. So let's do it this way. Get this one in there. Oh, I probably should have placed it next to the dog. Positioning in zoo is more important than it might seem at first glance also. So this is my most... yeah, this is my prime target for trading away right now. I'm thinking we're facing a Reno deck, right? That is the most likely explanation for some of the curious card choices here. So expecting a Reno N'Zoth combination type deck. Not really sure what's going on, but we'll definitely see. This card is a bit of an experiment, and especially in this matchup it doesn't seem to be all that good so far. As is evident, of course. Let's see if we can make this hit. Shouldn't have placed this on the right side again. Gotta get that positioning in. Yeah, so definitely taking this trade, saving this for now because it's not too impressive, and as soon as we get a ritual going, then we should be pretty happy with a 5/5 Reliquary Seeker, although I'm not convinced it's going to be that easy to get off. That's a card. Let's think about that. And let's tap, of course. Tapping is also an essential part of why Warlock even works, of course. Do we want to flood first? That doesn't really help us. Okay, so this thing dies, that's probably okay. Do I want to... well, if this dies anyway, I might as well throw it in under the bus here. Is that okay? That is probably fine. Sure. Might even be better. And... yes, I do want to pop the shield first, I think. So let's do it this way. This way. Let's the juggler survive. Place another juggler. Yes. If she fan of knives, then we're dead anyway. Might as well save the juggler for a better combination, I guess. Getting some extra face damage in is not worth the risk, I think. If she gets a good Reno off, then we're pretty much dead. That's an unfortunate truth. Inconvenient. Most inconvenient. Wanna buy a funnel cake? He makes it sound like something dirty. What else is going on here? Oh, can we flood enough? Let's count. We're always playing this, right? Oh, should we have... no, this is fine, this is fine. We cannot flood enough this turn. No, we may not even wish to play the Knife Juggler, actually. Do we... no, we don't. No, we don't. Into the breach. So in that case, we're trading into this guy. Girl? I'm not sure. It's an insect. I don't judge. Rogue is getting rather low, although, of course, if this... are we dead? We could be. If that's going... no, it's not going face. Okay, that's good. Possibly a little worried about... okay, no fan of knives happening, but... she's getting some pretty good trades here, which is not good for us. It's definitely not good. And this Reliquary Seeker is looking awful. It has never looked worse. Kinda makes me wish I had some kind of burst in my deck. But this helps. This certainly helps. Let's see. I do think we kill that off. That means we also want to tap, right? Yeah. So we can certainly flood. Do we care about that? We're not generating enough knives to guarantee to kill that. So I guess that means this trade is okay. And then we just flood. Sure. She hasn't shown any indication of having a fan of knives on hand, so I think I'm okay with this. 6 minions on the field. If she kills one, then we should be able to get our Seeker. Ooh. That thing is so big. Not looking good for us here, I'll admit. I'll admit this is not looking pretty, but our opponent is getting rather low, so that's certainly something. Tap again, of course. And life tap, of course, is the thing that makes Rogue tick. Yes, so always... Do we just trade? No, we never trade first. No. So place the Seeker over here. We're never trading the Knife Juggler in, so this is fine. Making some trades here. Also, always playing this one, which goes here, so the imps generated can go straight into these guys. Does this make any sense? I don't know. This goes here. Okay, so this goes here, and we can't quite kill the last one. Is that okay? She can... Okay, I'm trading both these in here. That's probably fine. I do want to kill that off to prevent her from killing my Dire Wolf or the Seeker or something worse. Ooh. Yeah, so that's Cthulhu Rogue. Interesting. Interesting. I'm curious about her deck list. 7 damage. Not quite. Not quite. Do we trade? I kind of want to stop trading at this point, but I'm not sure that's the right call. Maybe I trade the Direwolf in. Actually, is that crazy? It actually is. Let her do the trading. Or am I dead if I... Well, I'm dead to Cthulhu regardless, right? So I'm not too worried here. Yeah, that's okay. That is okay. I can't not play that. Cthulhu probably kills me. Reno probably kills me. That is 7 damage on the table. I don't really see... Yeah, so Reno probably means I'm dead. But we'll see how this goes. I can still take board control here, right? Oh, maybe not. She does have a lot of health to play with her hero power now. I'm not sure I actually have enough. Well, if I can get a Forbidden Ritual plus Sea Giant, then I might. I'm not sure. This is such a strange deck. Such a strange deck. Let's see. Any decent trades here? Yes, there are certainly some decent trades here. We do have to play the board control game here, right? Yeah, we do. And that's okay. There is still a way out, but... Oh no, it's N'Zoth plus... Okay, yeah, N'Zoth made sense, right? Did N'Zoth make sense? No, not really. I didn't really see that coming, I'll give her that. No way out from here. No, definitely not. Did a good job of clearing our board there, and we really got stuck with that Reliquary Seeker in hand for way too long. So that made it a little awkward, I guess. Alright, Perhaps not the best of matchups. Although I do think Zoo should be harder for Rogue. That Reno deck certainly seemed interesting. Let's give her that much credit at the very least. So I was talking about yeah, there's some interesting cards. Not every Zoo deck plays Sea Giants anymore. Not every Zoo deck plays cards like Argent Squire, Reliquary Seeker. It's just I just really like the voiceover of the card. I'll be honest there. It's probably not good enough to be in most Zoo decks anymore. Against another Zoo deck, Knife Jugglers should be pretty good, right? I'll keep all of this, yes. Maybe the double Knife Juggler is too slow and I shouldn't be keeping those anymore. That's definitely possible. I could be wrong in keeping Knife Jugglers whatsoever here, but they're rather good in a lot of situations. So depending on who we're up against, we'll see how it works out. I'm thinking about coining him out here, and that seems pretty okay. Knife Juggler into Knife Juggler, how good is that? I don't like it too much, but we'll see how it works out. I haven't played Zoo since the release of Whispers of the Old Gods yet, so it's a bit of experimentation. It's like it's a new deck altogether, which is interesting at the very least. Do I allow the trade here? I guess I'll allow it. Sure, I can make 2 1/1s, and that is probably good enough. If both of these hit, then that's really good for us, but I'm not expecting it to. Expecting to... yeah, I'm basically guaranteeing the trade here, but that still leaves me with plenty on the board to deal with whatever he's playing. Except that thing, of course. Kind of a risk, to be honest, but it turned out to be okay for him. If he floods, then that's a 5/5. That's still okay. It's not the worst. I think I'm okay with playing in King Boss here. It's unfortunate to give him the advantage of attacking properly with this thing, but there's not much I can do about it, to be honest. 5 is a lot of health, and that is one of the reasons why this is a good card. Although he only really gets the attack into this thing, and then I get to Juggler into stuff. Juggler should be pretty good here. Juggler should actually be pretty good here. Let's see, we want to buff the Possessed Villager, of course. Let's hope to hit one of the tentacles, yeah. And one more. Do we mind getting rid of... yeah, we have to make some room on the board, I think. Sure. And that's why Knife Juggler is still a pretty good card. Hand is running a little empty, but depending on what our opponent plays here, we can trade it on a lot of minions and then make a lot of minions again, so that's pretty good. We can even make 5, which means that we're trading everything except the Divine Shield. Oh wait, the Villager also spawns into a Shadow Beast, so maybe I should have traded the Divine Shield just so I'm able to trade away more. Or maybe I just tap and Ritual, just generate 3 tentacles. That's probably fine. One thing that's curious between the release of Whispers of the Old Gods, Doom Guards have basically disappeared from Zoo decks, which is actually kind of curious. That is not going to end well for you, sir. I'm afraid. Let's see. I think I'll stick to the tap and Ritual plan, right? Kinda wanna make some trades. I don't really care about the health of my Juggler here. So how about I do it this way? And see what happens here. that seems pretty good to me. Let's get that extra juggler.
Done.
And in the Zoo versus Zoo matchup, you don't really have to worry about board wipes, which is why you're basically free to overextend. Except for when that happens, of course. Although he should be worried about his life in an extent that I'm not that worried about him suddenly going face. Let's see, if we have 9, oh yeah, we just trade away 1. Excuse my my long stretched. This is 8, right? Yeah, definitely. Okay. I do hope I'm still able to count properly, but it seemed to have worked out. So Doomguard used to be a pretty good card in most Zoo decks, and it has all but disappeared right now. And the main reason for that is that you're often holding some cards that you don't really want to discard anymore. Like the Forbidden Ritual is a card that often is left behind in your hand, just like the Defender of Argus or something. So you are both more likely to play your hand out more quickly, as well as just holding some key cards like Power Overwhelming, and certain Zoo decks also include a lot more burst. I'll keep this. Such as Soulfire or Leroy or... well, that's basically it. Soulfire, Leroy. And that's most of the most aggressive cards in the matchup. Perhaps Mortal Coil to combat other Zoo decks. That's a decent choice. There's a lot of possibilities. Gormok is a pretty good card, which I unfortunately don't own. And in the interest of keeping a diverse pool of decks available, I won't be crafting it anytime soon, I think. There's a lot of fancy legendaries and epics on the wish list, and Gormok's not very high on that one. Oh, that's going to be kind of ugly, unless I can make a juggler work. That's a bit optimistic, I think. We could Direwolf and then Knife Juggler plus something next turn. Is that better than doing the Knife Juggler thing? Well, if he... We're counting on him having a buff, right? So that means I would rather have my Direwolf killed than my Knife Juggler. And he still has to make a choice whether... Well, he's probably always killing the Direwolf, let's be fair here. If he's even able to, which is not a given. It's basically just Flame Tongue Totem that kills it here. But this play also, well, that also happens if I keep it in my hand, right? I was going to say this is also contests Totem Golem nicely, but it would do that even with just the 3-2 on the field and the Direwolf in my hand. So yeah, there's the Flame Tongue Totem. Should be... Oh wait. This does not contest Flame Tongue. There's a problem. Well, that does not contest Flame Tongue Totem in the least, so I guess I'm okay with that. That does mean that the Councilman is not directly answered, which I'm okay with. I don't think he has an abusive, or he would have used it here, I think. So I think I'm okay with playing this here, and it's likely to be able to kill the Flame Tongue Totem next turn, or at the very least kills the Argent Square plus some kind of buff, which is also fine. A little less than optimal, but I think I'm okay with that. There comes the Totem Golem. So we could go for the Juggler. That's a little... Well, then at the very least we can kill... Not sure about that. So we can Dark Iron Dwarf and kill the Totem, or we can Juggler and Forbidden Ritual to also kill the Totem and possibly kill the Squire. Actually, sorta likely. It happens in 1/3. So it's 2/3 times 2/3. It's a little less than half time. I don't think I'm taking a gamble on that. And having the 4/4 here does contest the totem golem nicely, I believe. Yeah, I think if I Knife Juggler and then Forbidden Ritual, it kills the Argent Squire a little under half the time. Which I don't think is good enough. I'm not taking that risk. Knife Juggler plus Forbidden Ritual is going to be much better late game.
Did you bring some fish?
So I'm fine taking this straight. Please don't play a Floatone. That's good. That's good. I'll take that. I still think this is a pretty nice opportunity for knives. What do you say? I'd like to make some knives here. Yes. Let's do exactly that. Are we running into Lightning Storm? Yes, we are. Is there anything I can do about that? Not really. Okay. So we're taking it. There we go. That's one. This actually... Maybe I should have made this straight first. I am missing out on one face damage, but it is more likely that minions will be hit, and there was a decent chance that it would take 2 hits. Please no Lightning Storm. Oh, that's kinda bad. That's kinda bad. It's a risk we would take. Not every Shaman deck runs Lightning Storm, not every Shaman deck runs 2 Lightning Storms. So yeah, but we knew the risk, we took it. And we got burned. That happens. That happens sometimes. If you didn't have it, then it would have been basically game over, so that's okay. Flame Imp is a little risky to play at this point in the game. That's a real danger. Is he trading? It appears he's trading. Of course I am the aggressor here, so that kind of makes sense. Oh, that's pretty strong though. So that means we can abusive that. Let's see, that means we can also tap and play something else and buff something else. Which is useful, I think. If we're buffing the defender... Wait, if we're buffing the imp, we don't have to buff the imp either. Because we're... Oh wait, then in that case we can buff the abusive. Is that better? I think that's better. So we're using the abusive and the possessed villager. And I am not counting my mana properly. That is unfortunate. I kind of counted on being able to play the defender still, but apparently basic math can still be really challenging for certain people like myself. At least he's not able to kill the villager, so that's somewhat okay. But I don't think we're able to kill off the Strog, so I think that's basically game over, since we're not able to actually harness something up here. Are we? Well, we can Argus this, but it's a slim chance, and it's one we have to take, I guess. It's a very slim chance that we don't die, but there is still a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
Did you bring some
And if that chance exists, then we should definitely take it. This is not a game we're going to win, though. Oh, please don't hit the taunt. Please don't hit... Thank you. Okay, okay. Can we possibly kill this board? Hardly. We can certainly taunt up, though. Alright, alright, there is still a chance. Do we tap? I think we tap. I don't think we can win without tapping here. And that means we're playing this and this. This goes here. This goes here? No, it goes here. Because dealing 2 damage is awkward. Yes. Cannot clear all the taunts. Alright. We live for now. No, we don't. Wait, we're not immediately dead, but that's bad. Can we kill the 5-2 still? We should be able to. Oh wait, now it's a 5-3. That's mightily awkward. But at least we can clear the board here. We could also tap. I'm not sure. It's. We actually probably should. We're dead to basically anything, so I don't really care. Let's see. Mortal Coil's a pretty good card. Let's discover the other one. Mortal Coil's still a pretty good card. Let's see, we're not playing any of the other cards, right? Alright, we're not getting a taunt out of the deal here. So we're pretty much... Wait, we should probably do this first. Okay. We don't care about the spell power because if some kind of spell hits face, then we're dead anyway. Okay, so no charge, no weapon, no fire elemental. Yeah. Basically anything killed us there. Oh, that could be an excuse not to tap, I guess. I kind of forgot about that, and we did have to trade in our... only taunt, so yeah, that's a little unfortunate. It's pretty much, well, Rockbiter would have died. Yeah, there's plenty of cards that would have killed us there. Alright, we took some risks, did not pay off. Our opponent drew some pretty good cards, but I'm not going to blame him for that. It's always rough when you're playing against Shaman to identify what kind of Shaman you're up against in the first place, because there's a lot of different Shamans on the ladder nowadays. And it can be really hard to identify what kind of Shaman you're up against until they play their big finisher or their big burn spells, and then it's too late to really react, so that can be tough at times. Ritual is not an early game card. These cards are fine though, so I'm happy to keep them. And Sea Giant is still a really awesome card in most occasions. Although Druids might be able to... Oh, I definitely don't want both of those in my opener. That's a little awkward. Because these cards are basically the same, even though they do different things. This is probably the better one, to be fair. But 2 Sea Giants can be clunky, and at least this can be a 1-1 for 1 in certain matchups. Not against Druid, though. You really don't want to do that against Druids. A Cthulhu Druid deck, that means... Ooh. Do we trade here? I think we do, because it's kind of a waste of minions if we don't, right? At least we have a 2-1 and something... That's probably okay. Do we play this, though? We could also tap and do nothing and still have the same trade available next turn. Well, we might not, actually. What happens if we do this? Then he trades here, and then we can still do the same thing next turn, right? Yeah. Okay, this looks a little strange, but I think this is the correct one. Dragon Axe is a pretty good card. In Zoo. Yes, it is. You can buff it up real neatly, and if you ever can deal 1 damage to it, that's pretty great. Doesn't happen often, but it happens sometimes. And as I said, we're still given the same opportunity next turn, so that's probably okay. Makes this trade. We can just make this trade and play some minions, which is also not bad. Or just tap and play the egg. How's that? Let's tap. Yeah, let's just play the egg and trade. It's fine. We got a pretty good deal there, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it still. That's a 2-drop for a 2-drop. And then a little bit more.
Do you hear its call?
Okay, do we kill that? That's going to be a rough one. I don't think we're able to do that. Let's see, we can juggle and then abusive, and if it hits, if both juggles hit, then we can do it. That's a bit optimistic. Any alternatives though? Not really. And we do spawn an egg, we do spawn a 2-1, so we basically only died to swipe. I think that's acceptable. And we do have the Reliquary Seeker as an additional juggle. So let's see if this works out. And if not, then we can still attempt with the Seeker, which should be okay. I'll take this 50-50, because it's pretty good if it hits. That's unfortunate.
A natural mistake.
Lost the 50-50 there, and there's the swipe. Okay, that's pretty bad for us. I'll admit, we took a risk. Sometimes you gotta live a little. Sometimes you gotta live a little. Let's give it to the other juggler. And let's aim to take a Mortal Coil. Yes, yes. I was going to say let's aim to take a 1-drop, but a Mortal Coil is much more reliable.
Spectacular.
I was just going to take the 50-50 if this missed, but the Mortal Coil does offer more reliability, which I like. Let's see what happens now. This seems pretty bad, doesn't it? This does seem pretty bad. Well, at least he didn't draw a card of that, so there's that. We probably tap, or we play both of these and armor up. How's that? I think it's better than tapping. Even though one of them just dies to the 2-1, then the other one lives, so that's probably okay. I'm okay with this. I would have liked to tap here. Mostly because I don't have a lot of options for next turn, but just playing a Sea Giant for 7 mana is probably still okay. And we might draw some other stuff that we can do. I like having stuff to do, usually. Okay, so trade step 1 in, that means we still have some minions, that's probably okay. Divine Shield a little awkward, but we do get... well, we get the Shadow Beast off of this, but that's the wrong order. Doesn't really work out the way you would want it to. We can flood the board and then trade this and this. How's that? And then play the Sea Giant. We make 5 minions for 7 mana. Oh wait, that doesn't work. We can never play the Sea Giant after the ritual. That's unfortunate. I think we're tapping. Because we can still flood after tapping, of course. How important is the Voidwalker here? It works. It does what it has to do, I guess.
Why do you call?
Sure. I'll take it over a random tentacle. That's probably fine. If he wants to break the shield on the 1-3, that's acceptable. If he wants to break it on the 2-2, that's okay. And if he has another swipe, then we've basically already lost. No matter when we're using the ritual, it's going to end badly for us. So that's the obvious trade, and that's okay with me. I have plenty of tentacles to make use of that.
Where shall I strike?
And that's a taunt. Alright, there's definitely some answers that are pretty good in this occasion. Oh, and that's one of them. Alright, I think we're always stepping here. Fearlessly. I think we're also always trading... wait, we're trading as many tentacles as we can into that thing, right? So how about we're trading this one... and then this one, then a 2 mana Sea Giant, that's fine. Doesn't really matter too much. And that's a rather commanding board position, so only a Twin Emperor or a Cthulhu himself would throw us off here. That's pretty commanding, actually. He's in pretty big trouble if he doesn't have an answer to the giant here. Discover a Naturalize. I would still be okay with a Naturalize here. Claw doesn't quite do the trick, I believe. Is that lethal still? I have lethal. Yes, I do still have lethal.
Well played.
I do, right? No, I don't. Counting is a real challenge, guys. Don't judge me. Okay, I guess we're trading. That's 6, right? Yeah, that's 6. Okay, so he wasn't entirely dead. I'm okay with that. He's allowed to do whatever he wishes.
I fight.
That is his personal opinion, and there's nothing we can do to change that. This should basically still do it, right? He can draw some cards, he can top deck a swipe, that's still not good enough. Alright. Why did I think that was lethal? I probably just missed the armor. Yeah, I probably just missed the armor. That's a big taunt, but that's not enough. Alright. And that is Zoo for now. I'm pretty sure you've met this deck on the ladder already. It's a pretty good deck. It does offer some challenging scenarios still, despite being regarded as one of the easier decks to play, but don't let that fool you. It will still teach you some very basic and important game mechanics, and still offer some great variation. There's plenty of deck building options still left available in this deck archetype. So enjoy yourself. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any suggestion on what deck you would like to see next, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.